the plants and animals that I love. Please protect them. I'm counting on you.
Everything you've done!
All right, everybody, what is going on? So what we're going to do here is take a look at the physical Super Saiyan trio that came out during the Worldwide Celebration last year. And we're just going to see how they hold up in some of these new fights right here. So first up, we do have Golden Frieza. I like using this fight for like a showcase. I think it'll go pretty well right here. Not sure who I want to leave on rotation. I mean, I want to leave them here because they're the showcase unit. But as far as like, should I leave Gohan or Goku? You know, I guess I could float off Goku, then we could get like Goku and Vegeta on a rotation together. I don't really know what I want to do here, but they do link up really well with Gohan. Do they link up better with Goku? No, they do not. Okay, so we'll leave him next to Gohan right here, I guess. We need to get him up to 24 ki. We can do that pretty easily right there. It's not that big of a deal if I float this guy. We can, I mean, either way, honestly. I could float either of them here and it wouldn't be that big of a deal. Let's grab that. We'll get Gohan up to max key, and then we'll grab these. But yeah, basically right here, this is the team build. We're running the Super Saiyan Trio team right here. We got a mix of movie heroes, all-out struggle category characters. You know, there's a few that aren't, but as long as you have one on the rotation, that's all they need. That does give them their extra 15% damage reduction and the all-ally 77% defense for 2 turns. You know, that is a really, really valuable ability. And once we get both of those effects up, and we start rolling it and, you know, mixing it with their multiple turn defense raises that they give themselves. I think this unit is going to be decent in here. I don't know how they're going to do against Golden Frieza, like the super attacks, obviously, especially if we're not in, like, the standby Goku mode. But we'll just play it by ear. We'll see how things go. This one right here, this is the friend. They're built defensively. They have these nice defensive equips on here, which I like. They do have quite a bit of dodge, which is good. They are only 90%, but that last 10% shouldn't make a huge difference, and they're level 10 links, which is really, really nice. So I think it's all going to work out well. We'll see how things go right here. Now, this unit probably isn't going to be the slot 1 super tank that they used to be, especially against this Frieza. What typing is this Frieza again? I can't... Part of me can't... Is he STR? If he's STR, that's just going to make it even harder for these guys, you know, being type disadvantage here. Let me see. I know I do this fight. Yeah, he is STR. So that's going to make it nigh impossible for these guys to just eat the super attack, right? Just off the cuff. Like, I don't think that's going to be something that they'll be capable of doing. But, you know, that's okay. We'll see how things go. There aren't many characters right now that you could just put in slot 1, you know, certainly, and just have this Frieza just eat their super attacks. I mean, that's reserved for, like, Tech Broly, Beast Gohan, Vegeta once he's transformed, like, Gogeta once he's transformed, maybe Int Broly. I don't know. I'm going to do Int Broly in here next. That's going to be the next video that I do. I kind of want to just go over these Worldwide Celebration units. I have already used Tech Broly in here a ton, so I don't know if I'll give him a dedicated video, but definitely I want to get Int Broly in here, and then, who's the other one? Oh, STR Gohan. STR Gohan actually is on this team. I don't know if I'll do a dedicated video for him. Maybe I will. But we're going to capture a little bit of his performance in this video right here, so I don't know if it's super necessary that I give him his own video because of that. So we'll see how things go. Gohan's gonna be fine. I mean, he's solid, right? Like I don't. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. I'm tough on this Gohan, but as just like a slot 2 character, he's very safe, very consistent. As long as we're not asking him to go in slot 1 or dealing with like a crazy toxic mechanic from a boss, you know, he's fine. I mean, he's just a raw stats unit, but he's okay, right? Like I can't hate on this Gohan too much. Is he like a top 5 unit in the game? No, definitely not. Is he a top 10? Probably still not. Probably still not. But he's still very, very good. He's still very consistent. Definitely not as good as he should have been. Will probably age out quickly, but this isn't his video, so I'll try to refrain from talking about him too much. Let's go ahead and do this right here. I'll float off the Vegeta. By the time he comes back, he should be able to fuse, so that'll be really, really good. Let's go ahead and grab... We can just grab these for Gohan, get him up to 24 ki. Gohan will probably kill Frieza right here. I think people forget how, underrated this guy's damage is. Like, as he starts getting his attacks in and he starts building up that 200% attack right there, this guy becomes really crazy. People just discount, like, oh, man, he can't, like, he's, I don't even really know what they say. Like, what, like, people are just like, oh, man, you're just not getting him. Like, he's not one-shotting the bosses like he used to. And it's like, well, I don't know, like, maybe in, like, the new Formidable Foes fight, like, yeah, he's definitely not as good. He's not, like, a slot 1 god or anything like that. Double digits right there is nice. This Frieza doesn't hit very hard, but still good to see. We now have that double 77% up right now, and we're rolling it, so that's good. But this Gohan, like, next turn, he's going to be able to go into a standby, so on turn 4, we'll have a really safe character to go up against Golden Frieza. I don't foresee any issues with that, plus he's getting double support here from the physical trio, so he should be fine as like a slot 1 character with all the damage reduction and everything that he gets. So I'm not concerned about him at all. We'll see how things go. Again, I kind of do want to take him into the Formidable Foes fight because people are acting like he's just fallen off a cliff now. It's like, I don't know that that's true. I mean, his weakness has always been turn 1. He's not the most impressive unit, but it's always been that his second turn, which is usually turn 3 or 4, which is still very relevant in these fights. Like, he can't be touched. And then you just build him up into this guy that, shoots out a boss KOing attack. Like, that's still true, right? Like, that hasn't gone away. It's just, maybe you're not getting the attack off. Maybe you're not able to actually pop that off now against some of these shorter fights. But I think against this Frieza, he's going to be very effective. And I do think that this Frieza is a good showcase fight and a good judge of character. But, like, look here. I mean, he's doing a ton of damage. People, like, love... Well, there's, like, mixed opinions in the community right now on this Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. But people love him because he's just a safe slot 2 damage dealer. I mean, this Gohan's a pretty safe slot 2 damage dealer, too. So I don't see what the huge disconnect is there. I mean... maybe, like, the very first attack could do some damage to him, but, I mean, once he gets his dodge going, he's fine. So, anyway. Now, obviously, I don't want to put this unit in slot 1 right here. They would just get torn up. I don't, they've got 45% damage reduction, but against a 9 million, or is it 9 or is it 8? It's 8 million damage, isn't it? So an 8 million damage super attack. I'm sorry, but 45% damage reduction isn't taking you anywhere. I could probably actually pull up, like, calcs for it. Let me see if I can do that real quick. Yeah, okay, so I pulled it up right here. So Frieza on his first super attack does 7 million. That's just how much it does before you're able to debuff him or anything like that. Usually it is in slot 1. So the trio right here is at 545,008 for their defense. They do get... This, when receiving an attack, they get 30% defense for every 3 ki that they get. So at 24 ki, you would get a full boost of 240%. So you would take the defense that we see right here at the start of turn, which is that 545,008, multiply it by 3.4. So they're going to be at almost 1.9 million defense right here, before they even attack. And they'll have 45% damage reduction against the super attack because we'll have this 30% against super attacks, and then 15% for having a movie hero or all-out struggle category ally. But unfortunately, that's about as far as they get us. So because we are type disadvantage, we're not going to be doing too hot right here. So you guys can see with that level of defense, we're getting smoked. We're taking 4 million from the super attack. I mean, this is a really hard hitting boss. Realistically, like if it was like 4 million. 4 million, we would still... I guess we still die at 4 million. Is that right? This doesn't seem right, but it probably is. Maybe like 3 million. I mean, 3 million, we can eat it. But yeah, like obviously these 7 million damage numbers, we're not going to be able to eat it. So we can't really put him in slot 1. All that to say. But it's not like we can put this Gohan there either, obviously, right? Like neither of these physical characters are going to go slot 1 against this Frieza when he's fully built up like this. So, let's go ahead and keep Super Saiyan 3 Goku right here. People keep saying, oh, this Goku's not a slot 1 character. He can't go in slot 1. I'm like, guys, he's got 70% dodge. Like, maybe people just aren't giving him, like, full dodge. Like, maybe that's what's happening is nobody has a full dodge build on this guy. Because, 24 dodge and 70 dodge, it works out pretty well. So... I think these guys will be okay in slot 2. Now, again, if they eat a super attack, that's probably going to be a problem. But, I mean, let's see. Let's just see how this goes right here. If they had some sort of guard, that would make them really, really good. This character can't go slot 1, by the way. This is the character people say can't go in slot 1. Okay, yeah, sure. All right, just Super Goku again, please. All right, perfect. Dodge this, and there we go. All right. I'm not too concerned against normals, but these are going to be like his full power normals right here, which are like 4 million or something, right? Like, he got both of his attack buffs in, so these are like 4 million damage normals. They'll be debuffed a little bit from us doing several attacks. Remember that additionals don't give us any additional defense, but they are lowering Golden Frieza's attack right here, so it is still giving us some, like, defensive value. Only their 18 key gives defense, and it is really good. I mean, we're actually giving defense to Gohan right here, because they do give 30% attack and defense for 1 turn. So that's going to help Gohan. But it is for them, like, it's not self-excluded. So they are actually getting 80% defense on their initial 18 key. And then again, every single one of these attacks they're doing right here is lowering Golden Frieza's attack. So, you know, he was doing 4 million damage normals. Let's see how we hold up to this. Not well. Okay. Not good. So, oh, hang on. I can't, you guys can't listen to that. Okay. No, you guys can still hear it. There we go. Okay. Whew. Okay, so I was doing some math because I was a little confused about how this was all working here. And I didn't stop the footage to review this, but as we know, let me kind of like back this out. So we were at 545,008. That's what our defense... Oh, wait, you guys can't see that. There we go. Let me get this other one on screen, just so I can show you guys where I'm getting these numbers from. Okay, so we know that we were at 545,008. That was our defense, right? Now, what we have to do, because let's analyze this, okay? 545,008. That was our defense right there. That includes, so these guys right here, greatly raise attack and defense for 3 turns. This was our second appearance, and it was within that 3-turn window. So that 50% buff was still, that was applicable right here. Like that, we were seeing that. So before we do anything, we need to take that out. So we're going to divide by 1.5. That's going to remove that. So 363,339 would have been our, or 338 would have been our defense before like any super attack effects or anything like that was considered. Now, they were at full 24 key. At least I believe they were, right? Like we were fairly certain they were at 24 key. So that gives them 240% whenever they receive an attack. So we take this and we multiply by 3.4. Okay, that's just what we do. And then on their super attack, they get 80%. But we have to also include the 50% that they already had active last turn. So that's a total boost of 130%. 50 plus 80 is 130. So we take this and we multiply by 2.3. Boom, there we go. 2841308. That's our defense. That's the number that got plugged in here. If you're wondering what this website is, just look up Dokkan Damage Calculator, and it's dokkan-damage-calculator.netlify.app. That's the website right here. Anyway, so you plug that in. Now, what I was trying to figure out was what Frieza's damage was, because I was thinking those should be about 4 million damage normals. But what you have to remember is that, what's his name? Frieza, he does get debuffed, right? He loses, what is it, 3%? I believe it's 3% attack right here with each attack received. We did 5 attacks to this Frieza. If you guys recall, you know, I believe Goku just did 1, and then the Super Saiyan Trio, they did, I believe, 4. But somehow we ended up with 5 attacks on them, I believe, is what we ended up doing. And so Frieza's attack stat is 2 million. So what that means is that each time we hit him, his defense went down by 60,000. Or the way we can cheat this is we would just take 2 million, and we know that he got hit 5 times, so that should be 15%. So we multiply by 0.85, because like if you multiply by 1, that would give you 100%. So if you multiply by 0.85, that would be 2 million reduced by 15%. And so that gives you 1,700,000. What I guess is happening is that this greatly raised attack and defense only applies once. Like, it doesn't stack. So this guy's max damage is 7 million. Like, he can't do an 8 million damage super attack. He can just do a 7 million. So, because what I figured out, right, is that 1.7 million would be his damage if he had not supered. Because he supered, he does get a 50% attack buff. So you take this and you multiply by 1.5, and 2,550,000 is his damage. Now, I was thinking that it should be 3.4, right? I was thinking it should be 3.4. It should basically be double. But we were not taking 1.558 million damage. We weren't. We were taking... Let me move this back over here. We were taking closer to like 460. And whenever I plugged in that number, that got us right here to the damage that we were taking. So what that means is exactly what I just said. Frieza's attack buff only applies once within the turn. It does not apply twice. Now, I would like to just point out how unfortunate this is, that if we had been literally any other typing, Super AGL, Extreme AGL, Super Tech, Extreme Tech, Super Int, Extreme Int, Super STR, Extreme STR, or Extreme Physical, if we had been literally any other typing, we take double digits from those normals. The only reason we took damage is because of their typing. Like, if Frieza was any other typing, if we were any other typing, we would not have been taking damage there. But because Frieza is Extreme STR, that's the only reason we were taking damage there. I mean, it's the difference of 460,000. So, I mean, that is on them. You know, that does suck. But I do just want to point out that we were only taking damage there because of their typing. That does count against them, right? I want to be fair. I do. But also, that's the only... like, if, you know, I don't know, if they give us the Jiren fight later and he's got basically the exact same stats as Frieza and he's int, like, these guys are going to be amazing. But obviously he's not, so... You know, it is one of those things. Like, let's look at the other typings. So, if it was hitting for 4 million, you know, pretty much everybody's dead except for extreme units. I guess if you're type advantage would eat it well against an AGL character, right? But pretty much every other typing is just dead there. So, but I guess... this is just normals. Like, if you're doing 4 million damage normals. Because the other thing you have to consider, by the way, is that they only have their 45% damage reduction against supers. They only have 15 against normals. So that's part of the big difference you're seeing here. If we bump this back up to 45, yeah, they're not taking damage from anything. But the normals, because they've ramped these boss normals up so much, that's where they're starting to take damage. And, you know, if it had been 3.4... like, we would have survived. It wouldn't have been comfortable for most other typings. Again, other than physical, just because we're type disadvantage, of course. But if we, you know, if they were actually hitting 3.4, we still would have been fine if we were pretty much any other typing. I guess we still would have died, right? For these, for all of our superclass characters, because we just don't, like, we would have had to dodge all those attacks. Well, anyway, that's kind of disappointing. I thought they would do a little bit better than that, but, you know, math kind of says that they're not. I mean, it's kind of crazy that 2.8 million defense with 15% damage reduction isn't even letting you tank against normals anymore. I guess it is, unless you're type and class disadvantage, you know. But that is interesting. But it is good to know that Frieza's attack buff only applies once. It does not stack. It does not apply twice. So that's good knowledge, at least. Let's go into another fight. I think we'll go into the... I mean, why don't I just do it here? I have the team built. We'll go into the formidable fights. What is it? Movie stage 2 against Bojack. Let's go in there. Where is it? I probably should have cut this out. Yeah, battle hardened formidable foes. We'll go into movie part 2. I think people consider this one the hardest because it's got that Bojack at the end that's kind of scary. Let's just hop in here and see how they do. You know, before I make any tier list at the end of this celebration, I need to start using some of these old characters like these guys, you know, that came out a while ago, and just see how they perform. So that's what we're going to do right here. Let me go ahead and turn sound back on, and let's hop in. So yeah, good to know. It does kind of suck. I did want to get, like, at least one more turn in there. I wanted to see them eat normals. I wanted to be able to cope and just say, you know, they can't really eat the supers, but, you know, they can eat the normals, so I wanted to be able to say that. Now I can't, which really sucks. Let me pull up the stats on these guys just so that I can make good decisions here. Okay. Of course, the trio is on the same rotation here. Let's do Super Saiyan 3 Goku in slot 1 right here. He's got the dodging. He should be fine. We'll grab those orbs. What can we grab for Gohan? Not much. Okay. Wow, really, really bad opening orbs right here. And then we'll grab those for Goku. Okay. Does this STR Gohan, does he stun by chance? I can't remember if he stuns. Yeah, I keep getting told that this Goku can't go in slot 1. Everyone keeps telling me he's not a slot 1 character. He can't go in slot 1. I mean, are we looking at the same Goku here? Like, I don't know. Are we? Because maybe nobody else's is built full dodge. Maybe that's their issues. They're like, can't run him in slot 1, because he mine never dodges. But it's like, well, if you got the full offensive build on him, I understand why he's not dodging. But if you just throw dodge on him, that's he can go in slot 1 pretty comfortably with a 70% chance to dodge plus a full dodge build. Pretty nice, pretty nice. All right, Goku's fine. No stuns. That's good. That's actually, I mean, that actually is like legitimately good that we didn't get a stun off right there. All right, let's see how we do. We got both of them on rotation right here. Not really going to change anything other than like we just have the attack support. The attack support's nice. Let's make sure we get to the one in slot 1 up to 24 key right there. They should be better than Vegeta in slot 1. They are at lower defense, but they do have the 45% damage reduction against normals. So I'm hoping that kind of comes through for us right here. Let me grab just that with Vegeta. That should drop the STR orbs, and then we can get these guys up to 24 key. Perfect. All right, let's see what happens. Hopefully he doesn't open with a super. Yeah, we're at double digits on normals. That's really good. I mean, this cooler's not hitting the hardest. He's hitting 2.2 million on his super attack, and then he does get an attack buff with each attack received. What's his max attack? Like, after he receives 10 attacks, how hard is this guy hitting? So what you would do, his normal damage is 800,000. So you would take his base super damage, so 2240 million. Let's see how hard this hits us first before I start yapping along. 2105, that's not too bad. You divide that by the 800. Oh, you guys can't see what I'm doing. Hang on. Here you go. So you take the 224, like this right here, and you divide by 800,000, which is his normal damage. And that gives you the super attack multiplier, which is 2.8. So then you would take, like, fully built up. This guy gets 100% attack buff, so it would be 800,000 times 2. So that means his normal damage is now 1.6. Then you take that, multiply by 2.8. And so he's hitting for 4.48 whenever he's fully built up. All right, well, that went quick. On to the second phase, the Metal Cooler Core. So this guy's hitting for 3 million. Did I already play this?
And animals that I love. Please protect them. I'm counting on you.
You're gonna pay for everything you've done!
All right, let me turn those off real quick, just in case. I don't remember. I assume I've played that one already, but oh, we have the standby. Perfect. Yeah. Again, I was told this guy isn't good in the battle hardened formidable foes. By the way, I was told that. Anyway, I was told he wasn't good in here, so it is what it is. But anyway, Metal Cooler Core, right? So he's hitting for 3 million on his super attack, but it's actually 3.5. So you would take this 1 million, multiply it by 50%, and then you would add that into here. Anyway, so yeah, he's hitting for 3.5. That's not that scary on his super. What do I want to do? Who do I want to put in slot 1? Probably like this guy. I could probably do this as a rotation. I don't know if that's the smartest decision ever, but let's do it. Let's grab those right there. What does this guy need? He needs a Kamehameha ally on rotation, right? Super class. That's all he needs. Okay. Perfect. Yeah, he's got, uber damage reduction right here. Yeah, we're fine. Let's grab these. Dude, we might even get to see the family Kamehameha here. That'd be crazy. I probably healed up a little bit too much grabbing those same type orbs, but oh well. It's fine. Let's grab those. That'll group the tech orbs together. Whew. All right, Gohan, let's show me what you got, buddy. The character that everyone says is no good anymore and can't be used in these fights. Let's see. Yeah, physical Gohan should be fine. If he eats the super attack, he'll be good. The nice thing about physical Gohan is that he does have guard, so like he's able to eat well. You know, maybe this guy is better than the trio. Maybe I was overrating their defense a little bit. You know, because it's like you can give all the support in the world you want to the team, but you know, if you're dying to super attacks, like, or if you're dying to normals, like that's a problem. It's interesting that they're more susceptible to these normals than they are the super attack. That is interesting. So maybe they're not quite top 10 anymore. I don't think I have a problem with STR Gohan in the top 10 still. I don't think that'll be a problem for me. So I need to figure out, like, that guy, Janemba. Int Broly's a big one. Oh, come on, Goku. I was talking you up this whole video, buddy. Come on, man. We're dead. Oh, no. Yeah, we are dead. All right, back again. We're just gonna get more footage. That's really unfortunate, man. I'm hyping Goku up the entire video. Now the haters are winning, Goku. Stop. No, we can't let them win. We can't let them win. So yeah, he's a slot 1 character, but the moment you put him in slot 3, you know, he's no good. No good in slot 3. God in slot 1, you know, he didn't get hit a single time. The moment you put him in slot 3, though, you know, I never claimed he was a slot 3 unit. I only ever said he's a slot 1, and you know, evidence in this video suggests that he is indeed a slot 1 character. He's just not a slot 3. Oh, yeah, that sucks. That's only at 3.5 million, too. We would have survived if we were at full HP, but of course, we were a little bit low on HP right there. I didn't heal up enough with the orbs, I guess. Super Me? Okay, let's see how much this does. I mean, he hasn't gotten, like, a huge attack buff in yet, so let's see how, you know, let's see how they're eating this. It should be pretty well. Yeah, double digits. Very good, very good. Nice. Gohan, I mean, Gohan's probably just gonna beat this Metal Cooler, right? Like, he's probably just gonna KO him here. With how much damage this guy does. I mean, he builds up so fast. Let's see. I mean, a pretty good chance I think he just KOs Metal Cooler. He does stun. Dang it. Okay. That does kind of suck, actually. Like, I don't want the bosses to be stunned. Because I want to see what they do to our characters. If they're stunned, they can't do anything to us if they're stunned. Luckily, you can't stun the Metal Cooler core in the second phase here, so that's good. We can only just stun this phase, and we probably were just going to KO this phase anyway. I mean, Gohan just obliterated this guy's HP bar, which is nice. And then, yeah, Goku finished it off. All right, into the core. This might be a little bit spooky because it's the trio's first turn. They're not the best on their first turn. But we'll get them up to 24 key, and we'll see what happens. I mean, that's about all we can do, so let's do that. Gohan in slot 2 is going to be fine. And that's the nice thing about him, is that he's just an easy slot 2 run. But let's see what happens. Just don't open with a super? Okay. I was going to say, as long as we can get an attack off, I feel a little bit comfortable about them eating a 3.5 million damage super attack. I mean, you know, 3.5... and they've got like 45% damage reduction. Like they should be fine here. It shouldn't do anything to them. We'll see, of course. But I would like now if Cooler wants to super, I'd like it if it's in one of these attacks now after we've gotten a chance to hit him. Oh, but he can be attack debuffed, and that's like a real attack debuff. That's not like a fake Frieza attack debuff. That's a genuine attack debuff right there. So. Okay, Gohan, I mean, he's going to be fine. Gohan's defense after he attacks, since he has that guard and a little bit of damage reduction, it makes him really tanky. The Super Saiyan Trio not getting defense on their 12-key super attack has always kind of been their downfall a little bit. That's always been kind of the weak spot with their character. And I think that's starting to catch up with them here. I think that's what we're starting to see. You know, if they were getting defense on each of those 12 keys that they were doing, they'd be able to handle themselves really well right here. I mean, you're talking like an additional, you know, 600k defense per... Well, maybe not 600k. I had to pull up the calculator and, like, see real quick, you know, about how much it would be. But, you know, you're still talking... Oh, sorry. There you go. I guess you guys could see that. It was just going off of my screen. My bad. I mean, you're talking like an additional... What would that be? trying to think. It'd be like an additional 400k defense or something like that per super attack. I mean, that is a big deal. So, all right, we can go into the standby. I mean, might as well, right? No reason not to. I kind of want to keep this character on rotation, but I also kind of want to keep Vegeta on rotation, so I'm very torn right here. We'll do this. Let's throw them in slot 1. Let's just grab whatever with Vegeta. And then I think we're just going to KO here anyway, so I'm not even going to transform with Gohan. Like, there's no point, so we'll just keep them like that. All right, they're fine. We'll probably just, again, we're going to debuff the core, so it's not that big of a deal. We'll finish them off. We'll go on to the next fight. Let's just do this full run. We dipped out of that Frieza fight pretty fast, but we saw what we needed to see, and that's, these guys don't really hold up against them. And most of that is, again, because they're just type and class disadvantage. It's, again, literally any other combo. Like, if they were extreme physical, they would have survived it. But just being super physical, they died. That's just the way it is. That's how it goes. It sucks. Obviously, it sucks, but, Oh, and just to kind of, like, show you guys what I was talking about, I actually can... I can pull this up real quick and show you guys exactly like how much that extra defense would matter. So can I like pull this number up, please? Okay. So divide by 2.3. So here we go. Right there. So again, we established that Frieza was hitting for 2,550,000. And our defense would have been 2841,308, but if we go back to our basics, so our 2841,308 divided by the 2.3, the 2.3 gets rid of their super attack effects, right? That's the 80 plus the 50 from the previous turn. Like let's say they just got one additional super attack. So instead of multiply by 2.3, we'd multiply by 2.6. Let's just say one additional super attack. So now they're at 3211913. Let me change this back to 15% damage reduction. It drops them down to taking only 88k. If they got defense, if they got 30% defense on just one, on one additional, they would have been at double digits. I mean, that's, why don't they get defense on their 12 key? I mean, not double digits, they would have been at 88k, but I mean, that's, that's nothing. That's nothing. If we had taken 88k there per attack, I would have been like, oh, they tanked it great. But they didn't, so... I mean, that is kind of crazy, right? Just how... And we got, like, a full quad super right there, right? So we would have been... Like, we would have taken nothing. We might have been able to eat a super... Well, maybe probably wouldn't have been able to eat a super attack. But still, actually, maybe would we have been able to eat a super? Hang on. Because... we would have had the full 45% damage reduction. Hang on, sorry. We're talking about Frieza again. I'm really hung up on this. So if we divide back out the 2.6, so it would be 2.6 with one additional, 2.9 with two additionals, and then 3.2 is where we would cap out. So you would take this and multiply by 3.2. So 3953124. 3953124. 3953124. And this would have been 45% damage reduction, and the super attack would have been 7 million. Okay, no, we don't survive it. We don't survive it. But if we were any other typing, we would. Just physical characters die to that, of course. Yeah, but interesting knowledge to have. Like, if we were literally any other typing, we would be able to survive the super. So, interesting. And again, you do have to count that against them. It's like if the boss is STR and this character's physical, like, yeah, like, sorry about you. It's just physical stocks are down, AGL stocks are up. That's the way the game's always been. It's like whenever the boss is an extremely hard physical int character, it's like physical stocks are up, I mean, it's... Unless they have like a toxic phase or something like that, that makes it to where you don't want to run physical characters. Like the Int Omega fight from the GT Red Zone was like that a little bit. Where it's like, yeah, the first phase and the third phase, which is the final phase, like both of those were int, but it had this really hard-hitting toxic STR phase that, basically just wiped your physical characters, so... you know, he didn't really want to run physical characters in there. Same with like the original Legendary Goku event, right? Like it was it was int at the end, so you wanted to run your physical characters, but that STR UI was also, you know, really crazy. So like it was a risk. Like it carried risk running physical characters in there because you would get all the way to the end with no problems, and then you get to that STR phase and he just wipes you. And it's like, if I can just get to the int phase, I could win, but you know, it just like you couldn't, because the STR UI Goku would just take you out. So like, unless they do something like that where it's, you know, actually physical stocks are down because the boss is like a toxic phase, you know, like that can happen. But you know, at the moment, it's like that Frieza, he doesn't really have great type coverage. He's physical into STR, like that's whatever. You know, physical blocks int characters, but like who cares, you know? Like you don't really want int characters for the second phase anyway. And then, like, you want AGL characters for the second phase, but S physical doesn't really do anything to them. So, that fight has no type coverage. If it was, you know, STR into int, that would be spooky. But I think it would also make the physical trio better, because that Frieza wouldn't be doing, the first phase Frieza wouldn't be doing enough damage to really harm us. So it's a big balancing game. It is what it is. I'm probably going to jinx them, but I was going to say, so far, they've been doing really well. And of course, we can't. The moment I say that, we can't get 24 key. That does suck. That is kind of really bad, because I mean, we're missing out on an extra 30% buff that is very important to their kits. So I don't like that. Not a big fan. Hopefully he doesn't open with the super immediately. And he does. Okay, well, how hard does this guy hit? 3.3. Yeah. Yeah. Wait, is he like super effective against all types? What? Why was the attack up arrow there? Huh? What? 3.36. What? I don't even know, man. I think my conclusion here, I mean, this is like almost a 40-minute video. I think my conclusion is, yeah, the physical trio unfortunately has you know, fallen off a bit. I was asking a lot, you know, putting them in slot 1. But the thing is they're not on either of the new leader skills, right? So you pretty much have to run their team, or just some like variation of their team. Like, what categories are they on at the moment? See, I don't know. Can I put this character into top 10? I don't know. I don't know that I really can. Like, that's it's a real tough look for them at the moment. Like, all out struggle. You know, he leads Battle of Fate. He leads Full Power. He leads Giant Ape Power. He leads Universal Survival Saga. Super Saiyans doesn't have a lead. Power Voices doesn't have a lead. Movie Heroes doesn't have a lead. Connected Hope, Joined Forces, Kamehameha, Earthbred Fighters, and Trusted Will. Oh, wait, Earthbred Fighters. Are they on? No, because it's Earth Protecting Heroes, and then the 200% is to Earthbred Fighters. So yeah, they're not on this guy's leader skill at all. Like, if I could run them as like a floater on this guy's team, that would be really, really good, but I can't. I can't do that. So maybe this guy, maybe he does slide into the top 10. Maybe. I mean, because just there is some value in being a slot 2 character that can just eat anything at him in slot 2. That there is value in that. And, you know, if the physical trio can't get the ball rolling like they used to, then, you know, maybe they do fall out of the top 10. It's unfortunate. It's not great. It's not words that I want to say, but I mean, you know, all we're seeing is them dying at the moment. And it could just be part of their typing, but I think we've done enough math in the video just to show that, you know, they're not in a great spot at the moment. So we'll see. I'll try to get some more use out of them, but you know, that sucks. That sucks because I really like their team. I like what they do for units around them. But yeah, it seems like they're not really keeping up with the power creep here. I mean, part of that, you know, it's what happens. It's what happens whenever you're not getting your defense on 12 key. It's, you know, little things like that whenever the character comes out and it's like, why don't they just have 45% damage reduction? Why don't they get defense on 12 key? You know, it's like, it's fun while it lasts, but, you know, the moment these, like raw stat characters with no technique in their kit, It's like the moment the bosses start creeping up on them, it catches up with them. Now, I am afraid that that's going to happen with this Gohan that you see on screen right here, but at the moment, he's good. He's good at the moment. So maybe he does creep into the top 10 as like 9 or 10, because I think I would have had the physical trio probably at 10 if I were to do a tier list. So maybe he just jumps up over them. So maybe, maybe I have been discounting him, and this guy actually is top 10. But we'll see. I'm going to hop into Int Broly next. I want to see how Int Broly does in some of these same situations. So maybe not today, maybe tomorrow. Maybe that'll be tomorrow's video. I'm probably only going to get one out. It's really hard for me to get videos out right now. I don't have time to just sit down and record as much as I would like to. It's really busy for me at work. Like I get there at 8 and I get home at 9. So it's really tough for me right now to get videos out. But let me know what you guys think. But yeah, I'm disappointed. I'm very sad, if you guys can't tell. I was really hoping that I would hop in here. The conclusion I wanted to draw was that, they're keeping up. Like, maybe they're not as good as they were, but they're still capable. That's what I wanted to be able to say. I want to be like, yeah, it's like, maybe they're not quite keeping up, but everything that they're doing for the units around them is still making them like a worthwhile, addition to bring. But it's like they don't have teams. I mean, they have their team, and running 2 of them seems like a liability, So maybe I could have changed the team build up a little bit, but it's not like we're just, we take a look at these characters, right? Let me go to their team. Like we take a look at this, and we kind of need, like, this team worked because they were capable in slot 1. All out struggle. You take a look at this, it's like, and listen, part of this, I can put some of the blame here on these anniversary characters. This guy is the only one that can even consider going in slot 1. And then you just look at everybody else on here, and it's like, we're not... Future Gohan's good. We probably could run him on the team, but, like, he's not going to be going slot 1 against these big bosses, probably. And then it's just like, it falls off a cliff. Like I don't even know what I'm looking at here. There's not a single slot 1 character in sight, and most of these characters are not even good. Like, most of these characters are really, really terrible. So, like, you look at All Out Struggle, and there's just nothing to see here. You take a look at Super Saiyans, and again, it's like, yeah, we had them on the team. But again, I can kind of throw shade at them. It's like, if they were slot 1 characters, yeah, the trio would be great. You could just run them in slot 2 and they'd be fine. But they're not. Like, they're not slot 1 characters. So it's like, it falls on them because they're going to be probably more effective. But none of them can be effective. Whenever you have a team of slot 2 units, like, it doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. And we just look at the rest of the team here. Like, am I going to run God Goku? I may have to. It's like you have to run God Goku just to get a unit who can sometimes go in slot 1. We could have brought this unit right here. But again, they're not really a slot 1. This guy's not really a slot 1. Maybe it's just the team build. Maybe you guys need to throw a different team build at me. Maybe I'm just, not thinking about options that are available. Maybe there's just something I'm completely whiffing on and not realizing that I have access to. So let me know if you guys think it's just the team build. And then, of course, what's their last one? Power of Wishes. Yeah, there's like nothing. Again, you have this guy, we have this guy, but this guy's not a slot 1 on turn 1. None of these characters are, right? So I'm going to blame part of this on the anniversary characters. Like, they are a huge buff to their team, but none of the characters on their team can go in slot 1. And whenever you're leading a team of slot 2 characters, well, then it kind of falls on you as a leader. We want you to be able to go in slot 1 because you're leading the team. So lead us to victory, boss. And they can't do that. Now, they could if we could get them into their standby, but easier said than done. So that's where I'm going to conclude. Let me know what you guys think. Again, long video here. That gets all my thoughts out in the air on this unit. I am sad. I am very sad. But let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you have any thoughts on this unit, and I'll catch you guys next time.